first location on the map, pinpointed as it should be, the famous Wedded Bliss Agency here on 15 Park Street. Now, what is interesting about this location, not only did you see Kenneth Williams walk up from the same bit I did as well as Bertram Muffet, but you can also still see clearly up here that there's still visible where the plaque used to be in the original Carry On film, where the Wedded Bliss Agency sign was. As you can see, they've just used some very basic poly filler there, which makes it quite nasty. Now, as you can see, this view was also used in Carry On Again Doctor, when lovely Jim Dale come down from the main shot of that road right up there. He swept in his big white Rolls Royce and parked right out here. I believe his surgery was a couple of doors down. I don't believe they used this one. But I don't know if you remember, but going down here, down this exact footway was the fact the entrance to Helping Hands. Rushed around the corner, straight down there, all piling in to try and get a job. So 3 locations from 3 Carry On films, and this is it.
Well, Henry, you heard Mr. Snooper's advice. Do you think we should try it?
If you want to, Emily, but personally, I don't think a pair of steps is going to be the answer.
Well, guess where we are now? We are here on Francis Road. That house you just saw then is in fact the Citizens Advice Bureau. Yes, where Percival Snooper first insulted a couple, and then Hattie Jakes later went on there to ask him whether they could adopt some babies for their ever-growing affair. As you can see, there's not much change, really. They've got rid of the big tree that was situated there. Clearly visible on the door, there's still the bell there, and the pipe going, the drain pipe going down the side of the door. Obviously, they put the sign, the Citizens Advice Bureau sign, in for it. But generally, looking at the state of the house, it has become a bit more decrepit. It doesn't look as nice as it did in 1970, but it still looks like the Citizens Advice Bureau. And if you walked past here, you could instantly say, like I did in the car, that's it, that's the location, that is the Citizens Advice Bureau. Terry Scott's first date wasn't all that successful. Well, at least he didn't think it was when he met the ever so prim Jenny Grubb. He wasn't quite expecting what he got from Joan Hickson and other members of the family. Behind me is Jenny Grubb's house. As you can see, not much has changed there. The balcony in situ, but there's not really a great deal changed. The door might have changed slightly, that's about it. But overall, the car would have originally came from where that car's about up there at the moment. He zoomed out and he parked about here where there was a Mini with a learner driver sticker stuck on the back. Of course, in the back was the ever so loving lovers. You remember them? The ones in Rotherham Mansions in the lift. Just can't get enough of it. Ripped it off and said,
"You must be joking."
And that is it. That's the scene, that's the house. Pursued by James Bedsop, Sid was making a quick escape up this wonderful hill just opposite the castle. He was obviously trying to get away from him, so we had to think of something very, very quick. So what did he do? Well, round this corner, just like in the film. Ah, the bells! Well, as you can see, Windsor Castle's having a good old clanging time. But where I've just walked, that was the corner that Sid actually walked to get James Bedsop on his back. You just see this shop here, which would have been an art shop back in the day. To make his quick escape, he went into some toilets, which are now, believe it or not, Café Rouge. Now a cafe shop. Walked in there, and of course, he lost James. James got arrested, and that was the end of it. Then, when Sid did make his exit, he walked down here, out that entrance, just see where the girders are. And that would have been a taxi rate back in 1970. And obviously, as you can see, the popularisation of shops being on the high street have overdone that. And the redevelopment programme has ruined the original feature. Mind you, not saying that has ruined it all, because over here, Bertram Muffet met his first date. The first Wedded Bliss Agency match. Yes, milk bottle tops it was, I think. And There we go, Yeehart and Garter. You're going to walk down there. Obviously there was a road there this day. You can imagine this was a road. So you're going to walk down there and you would walk into there. They put a very tacky sign up on the top there. Just below that little drawing on the wall, whatever, that carving. And everyone said the Parkway Hotel Cocktail Bar. Just to let you know, a brief thing here. When Cafe Rouge, you saw that scene from over there, and Charles Autry was looking across the road, you could clearly see this visible. The only thing was, they forgot to put the sign up. A bit of continuity, I think.
Well, here we are at the location where Sid James came in the cab after losing Charles Hawtrey. He actually pulled up in a cab just over there, and he then proceeded to walk along this path to that flat over there, 32 Rodham Mansions. Now, although it was number 32, we've discovered that 32 is in fact that door over there. But for some reason, they wanted to make it easier, so he just walked into that door over there. And the reason why he was going to see Esme Crowfoot because he's trying to make up with her. And what he did, he poured a bucket of water over himself to gain her sympathy, to try and get back, to woo her back into his life. And that is basically the story of Sid James coming here.
I don't know if you recognise the house behind me. This is Percival Snooper's home. As you can see on the door, it does say 32. In the film, it is a complete different number. Yet again, they like fiddling with numbers. A bit like the Carry On Eating with the number 13 door change. They do it all the time. Bit of a carry-on tradition, that. But here we go. Percival Snooper's house. I don't know if you remember, but Bernard Breslau's dummy come flying through that window. They have since fixed that. If we go this way, I'll show you exactly what they've done in the film before Hattie Jakes arrived at the house. She actually got in a taxi and she actually arrived here. Actually, the taxi pulled up somewhere around where the blue car is. She got out and then walked down that small alleyway. Okay. The blue house in the background, you wouldn't have seen the film, it wasn't blue. They've done a very nice paint job though. If you come round here though, this is another significant sound. You probably might not know this unless I tell you, but you do actually see them houses over there featured in the film as Hattie Jakes looks down the street. They probably took, it's probably that house there, number 23, they probably took the shot from down there, to be honest. But this is good because Sid, I don't know if you remember, but he had to make a call to Gripper Burke. Yes, he made a call to Gripper Burke. He wanted to cause a bit of trouble. So to get Gripper around, he had a ring in the phone box.
This is a friend. I just thought you ought to know. An oversexed nut by the name of Snooper has just lured your fiancée into his house.
What? Where?
Bulstrode Avenue, 45. And if I was you, I'd get my skates on, quick.
The phone box would have just been past his slab post, probably about here. Well, as you can see, there is a phone box here. No, BT haven't removed it. It was a studio prop especially for this scene. And that is the story of Adelaide Square and Percy Snooper's house. Well, there's not really much to mention here. I mean, we're on the Great Walk here at Windsor Castle. You can just see in the background now. All that really happened here was that once King Henry went out for hunting and Carry On Henry, just a couple of them rode back up on here on horseback towards that way. And when they went to the next scene, they actually went to a little barn, which subsequently would have been to the left. As you can see behind us, there's no clear sign of a barn. So basically, that's it, really.